obviously. So I'm going to explain to you what we're going to do. We're going to add up the numbers. So there's a 5 plus 5, that's 10, plus 4 plus 2 is 16, exactly. So I'm going to count 16. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And that would be the jack of spades in this case, yes. Right? But we didn't use 16 and we didn't use this side. We're going to use the other side. And remember, you shuffled the cards and you shuffled, I think, and I saw you shuffling and you shuffled. So you guys shuffled the deck. There's no way I could know what order we have, and there's no way I know what this number would be. So here we have a 6, a 3, and a 1 that equals 10, plus 2 is 12.
Yeah.
I want you to do the favor. Just count out 12 cards, face up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Put the 12 card here.
12.
That would be the 6 of clubs. Remember, one more and we could have ended up with completely different numbers. You guys made it the 6 of clubs together. And I made a prediction. Before I started this routine, I put it on the table, and believe it or not, but the prediction actually matches.
Rates the magic trick. Bang.
Oh no. 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. Rate the magic trick. Balance. Watch. Balance, balance,
You're
balance.
literally just holding it. That's too, like,
What I have
that's
to do
a
then.
10 out of 10. What?
Rate the magic trick. If I can make the Statue of Liberty disappear, would that deserve a follow?
Yes, absolutely, but that's not possible. No, no. What? That's another 10 out of 10.
3 10 out of 10s.
And a follow.
And the follow.
Shang-Chi had 10 magic rings, and that makes him a superhero. I've got 4 magic rings, and that makes me a magician. Of course, I can link these bad boys together right there at the fingertips, and it looks pretty convincing. The reason why it looks convincing is angles. I'll do this one so slow, Ray Charles could follow it. You see that? From this angle, looks good. From this angle over here, not so great, but that's why we show it from the front, man. We can take these ones here, and they melt together just like so. And of course, you can have one ring to rule them all. My favorite thing about this whole trick, though, is when you blow, one of the rings passes through like a ghost through a castle wall. You can do it again right up here at the fingertips by rubbing right there, and the second one melts right off, leaving us with just 2, and we know they're not linked, but your average Joe isn't gonna know, and when you spin the bad boy and snap, it pops right off, and that has to be worthy of a like and share.
Who put orange juice here? Only milk in this drink.
No milk today.
I'm just gonna have you think of a random word. And here's what I'll do. I'll go into, there it is, the Books app, and let's say we do the Art of War. Now, if you swipe like this, you're basically getting a different page every single time. If we were to stop here, the first word would be with. If we were to stop there, it would be may. So depending where you stop, you're gonna get different words. So what I want you to do, hold it face down, like this, like me, so you can scroll, but randomly. That way, none of us could know what it is. So you can go a little bit forward, you can go a little bit back. Once you're happy with the position, just let me know. And then you stop anywhere you want. Right there? Okay, think about this. You could have stopped anywhere you want. Just you take a look at the first word. I'll look away just so you don't think I could somehow see. Yeah, and remember that word. Got it? Yeah. Hold it face down. And now let her swipe back and forth. Let her swipe back and forth as much as you want. You can go as far back as you want, as forward as you want. Once you're happy, are you happy there?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Now, you looked at a word, you look at another word, okay? Look at the first word that starts on that page.
Okay.
Swipe somewhere else, that way you don't think I could somehow see it. And it's gone. Close the phone. Think of your word. Maybe it's a thing, maybe it's a person, it could be a place. None of these things are.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live, I guess. Murphy's Magic. Good to see everyone in chat. Alan, please stop getting excited about this. I told you this is quite mediocre. Andy, good to see you, bud. We've got some, what Savant Deck is out today, so it's good to kind of, talk about it, I guess. I'm not getting excited about it, but look, I think we should. I've got other things to do, so we should get on with it, I guess, and talk about it. We've got two guys here, the guys that created it, Lloyd and Craig. How are you guys?
Bored.
Thanks.
How long is this, Bo?
Well, we've been live for exactly 6 minutes and 30 seconds, so we should wind this up in maybe 37 seconds.
I think so.
Yeah. But good.
No hype.
No hype.
No excitement.
If there's any excitement during any of this chat, please rein us back in.
Please tuck yourself back in.
Yeah.
Please to be excited today.
Yeah, no excitement, please. Firstly, I just want to say thank you for joining us today. I'm about to get excited. Lloyd and Craig.
Stop being excited. Tone it down. You're at 12. Bring it down to a 6.
A solid 6. Okay. Thanks for joining me.
That's what she said.
Now, back camera. Love to see it. With this, can you tell me kind of like the history of the Savant Deck and the idea and where it came up from and how you guys got in the creative process of where it started to how it is now on shelves? Like the history. Get dirty with me.
Take it away, Craig.
You're eating a pizza. Yeah. Oh, right. I don't even know what the hell is going on. Right. Okay. Me and Lloyd got together. We talked about card tricks. We thought it'd be really cool to come up with this card trick. We came up with the routines. We filmed it. And now we're here. Woo.
There we go. In depth. Love it. Love to see it. So thank you very much. Now, I'm so hard not to get excited. I'm very excitable. Let's get into the questions.
I really am struggling to do this.
Come on, let's get excited. It's launch day. We can get excited now, right? We couldn't get excited before.
He can sit there, look completely unexcited because nothing excites him other than pizza and sheep.
Let's just jump to you and me. Let's have a good chat, Craig, and he can have his pizza.
Bring me back!
No,
bring me back!
Don't bring him back, Bo. Oh, God damn
Hello.
it.
He's still got his pizza. All right.
I'm excited.
We can get excited now. It's out. Let's get excited and tell people why we're excited.
In all seriousness, I'm not going to be able to sit here and not get excited. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to very, very much try my best. But it's very hard not to get excited. I know why we don't want to get excited, because every time me and Lloyd try to hype something ahead of time, it kind of goes badly and stuff kicks off. But here's the thing. I'm very proud of what we are releasing here today. And if I can't get excited about it, then what's the point in even doing this? Do you know what I mean? It's like, I love magic as much as Lloyd loves pizza. And
I love pizza.
He really does love pizza. And I love creating magic, and I love creating magic with Lloyd. It's one of my favorite things in the world to do. And on top of that, I love sharing it with the community. Not everybody's going to love everything. Some people will love it. Some people will hate it. But I'm here to answer any and all questions, and I will try not to get excited. I'll try not to get hyped up. But I want to talk about how good this is and what it is actually capable of doing.
That's perfect. I think we're going to get into all of that in just a second and let people know what this deck can do. Because I know a lot of people are asking about, they've seen the performance and they want to know what else it can do, which we'll get into. But again, let's rein it back in. The excitement can stay high, but let's start with the basics. When the mailman rat-a-tat-tats at your door, hands you a beautiful little package, what do you get?
Hands you a package.
Hands you a package.
It's
Pizza ship package?
The pizzas, yeah. It's yeah. All Savant decks are now getting sent out with a pizza. we're not doing that. Please don't hold me to that.
No, they're not. No,
no,
the
they're
pizza's
not.
got to be.
Yeah. But so what's inside the box? When they open it up, what will they find inside? Is there a million gimmicks? Is there just one deck?
I'll field this until Lloyd's ready to actually speak without his mouth full. Yes.
Nearly showed you the instructions there.
No one pause that, please.
That's what you get.
So it is a red-backed rider deck, the most popular brand of playing cards in the world, as we all know, and it's kind of unique in that it's a gimmick deck, but unlike most gimmick decks, it can be examinable, completely and totally examinable. And we're not talking about, are Lloyd and Craig saying it's examinable when really it's not? Let's have a debate about it over a 2-year period where we figure out whether it's examinable or not, and let's have a flame war on the internet. This is that nobody would pick this up and not agree 100% that this is examinable.
I do think it's important to say we're on about lay people.
Yes. Oh God, let's not go down that route again. Yes.
Yeah. Magicians, it's a gimmick deck. When magicians pick this up, you're going to say, "Oh, okay. I kind of understand." That's the pizza. I kind of understand what's happening, well, although you won't fully.
Although I will say
people,
that I was at your club. I will say, Lloyd, that I was at your club yesterday, and you were performing this to a very knowledgeable card magician, who had absolutely no idea what he was, what it was. He was completely and totally fooled. And I've performed this to magicians, and they've been completely fooled. There are magicians that will watch the Savant Deck or have the Savant Deck performed on them, and they'll realize how it works. But there's going to be many that don't. But to be honest,
I'm just trying to future-proof us because I'm just trying to future-proof us because I know there's been hot water before when something has fooled magicians over and over and over again, but then there's some that aren't. So I'm just saying that to be safe, to err on the side of cautions, magicians, when they pick this up, if they were to try and look for what the secret is or part of the secret, then they're gonna find something. They may not understand the full thing, but some might find something. I think that's fair to say.
Absolutely.
Although, like, it does fool magicians, and even when you lectured last night, you did, but I just think it's better to stay safe than say sorry.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's a shame that we're having to second guess ourselves with everything that we say, but that's just the way it is. But yes, although examinability is never an important thing anyway. You know, I do tricks that can't be examined, it doesn't matter. I do tricks that can be examined, it doesn't matter. To a lay person, they can go through the deck, they can look at it with a fine-tooth comb, they are not going to find anything. There is nothing to find. There are no specially printed cards. There is no sticky stuff, no rough and smooth, no plasti dip, no special printing that operates the same way as rough and smooth, no nothing. They do not stick together in any way, shape, or form. There are no misprinted cards, so they are not like double-ended or anything like that. There's nothing like that. And in fact, they're not marked. You will not see Phil Smith's name on this project at all. It is not a marked deck in any way, shape, or form. There's no marks. So now you know what it's not. I'll tell you what it is. It is a deck of cards that's capable of doing around about 20 different routines, I think, are on the project. Although because the deck itself is self-working, or as near as damn it self-working, it means that the tutorial is quite short. I think it's like just over 2.5 hours, including live performances. And here's the thing, if you've seen a lot of my tutorials in the past, I do a sleight section at the beginning where I talk about all the different sleights. We didn't do this with this because there's no sleights to learn. It's very, very easy. You'll open the box, you'll watch the tutorial, you go, okay, that's how it works, brilliant, right, let's do this. So it's very, very easy to do. And what it does is there's like 20 or so routines that you can combine together into a set. In fact, on the project, you will see a live performance of me at a group of people. There, I go over to them and I do a 22-minute set with the Savant Deck using just the routines that are on the tutorial. And it's at Smoke and Mirrors in Bristol. And afterwards, they turn around and they go, well, that was better than the show that we've just seen. And that's not because I'm the best performer in the world. God help me, I'm not the best performer in the world. It's because there's such an eclectic range of material in this deck that allows you to perform such an eclectic range of effects. And what I mean by that is a lot of the time with a gimmick deck, when you come up with routines with a gimmick deck, they're all very similar. So I put a project out years ago called Visible, and it's all of them on the bounce because it would all involve a card being turned over in the deck. With this deck, the material is very eclectic. The 22-minute set that you saw me do to a live audience, it's all a completely different range of material, and that's one of the things I love about this. But in essence, the deck will allow you to replicate a memorized deck. You can, but with shuffle. So the spectator can shuffle the cards, or you can shuffle the cards. They can cut the cards. They can take any card. They do not show it you. You can be looking around. You saw it on the trailer, and immediately, with no fishing, no memory work. That's important. No memory work. You can immediately tell them what the card is. You can do lightning fast calculations. You can do effects that you would never think possible, and it's all completely self-working. Is that fair to say, Lloyd? I think I've.
Yeah, I mean, a large portion of the effects are hands off entirely. If you look at the first effect in the trailer and the second, the first full performance in the trailer and the second full performance in the trailer, I don't even touch the cards. It's hands off, and essentially almost all the routines can be performed in that way. And in fact, I advocate for it. So there are small elements of audience control and pre-qualifying your audience in the most basic of terms. And obviously, it's not a miracle. It's not a real piece of magic. So there is a method to it. But for all intents and purposes, this is the fundamentals. And it's not even the fundamentals for you as a magician. It's the fundamentals of performing and just audience control.
Well, yeah, that's great. I kind of think that's exactly. I was literally reading comments of people going through, going, "How's the deck? What's it going to look like?" I'm going through Instagram as well to see what people are saying as we're talking about this, and you're like answering all these things. I'm also want to say, Craig, that is it Jay Blunt says better than the show. How dare you?
Well, he was performing the show that night with Mark Bennett, so I think the reason that they said that, Jay, is not because of you. I think it was Mark Bennett. I think he sucked especially that night, and you rocked it. You brought it round, but their expectations were low coming over to me. So I think that was the thing.
There you go.
I mean, we can delve deeper into it if you want to, and I'm trying to keep up with these comments, but yeah.
Yeah, well, we've got a shot collar on you, so you can't expose too much today.
I won't. I will tell you one of my. Would it help going through some of the routines that I really like on the project? Because obviously they saw two performances to, on the trailer. They saw two performances by Lloyd, fantastic performances. The Rainman performance and the Impossible card, which is amazing.
Yeah, if you could, that'd be great.
So one of my favorites is you'll see on the trailer, if you watch the trailer, a bunch of stuff with UV. And we've got Thomas Maloney to thank to this. He came in with a couple of incredible routines for the project. And the UV thing is amazing. Now, I've had a few people asking, there's Lux is not used in this. I love Lux, but this is just a normal UV pen that you can get. I got mine from Amazon for like £1 or something. But the UV thing is insane. So with the same deck, and this is what's so beautiful about this, you can go from routine. So with this particular thing, you shuffle the cards as much as you want to, and cut them, shuffle, cut, shuffle, cut, like that. And then basically what happens is you have the spectator pick a card, and they really can kind of they have a free choice. They really, really, really do have a free choice. It's not like a force or anything like that in any way, shape, or form. So they take this card, and then another card is produced during the course of the routine, and you add the values of the two cards together.
Wait, Craig.
Yep.
You've forgotten one thing, and also maybe hold back on one tiny bit of it. There.
Okay, but do you want to explain the UV thing, or do you want to talk about?
Well, just to err on the side of caution, you make a prediction before you even bring the cards out the box.
Yes, you do. Yes, you
make a prediction of a single card on the table. They then get the most ridiculously fair choice. In fact, I think in two of the performances, they literally change their mind on the card. So they get to pick a card, and then it's no forcing. They get to change their mind as many times as they want until they're happy. You then reveal first part of it. There's a prediction on the box, which sort of matches their card and sort of doesn't. It's like a bit
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a good trick. And then the kicker comes when you reveal the card that was on the table from the very beginning. On the back of that card, written is exactly the card they picked. And they had a really, really, really open, fair, change their mind type of choice. And there's no UV on the back of any other card in the deck.
Yeah, they shine the light on the other cards and they look through the other cards. There's no UV, no Lux, no UV ink on any of the other cards except for the one that the prediction was on. It's killer.
One of the questions in the comments I can see says, is the UV already on the card? No. You have to just pick up a cheap pen. You probably already got one, but get your own UV pen because there are multiple. I think there's at least two UV effects that you teach on the project.
Yeah.
Some of them use letters on the back of the cards. Some of them use playing card reveals, and also you can get creative and do other effects with it. So yeah, for the sake of that, you would need like 3 or 4 different decks to have all the different ones. So just pick your favorite UV effect. And the beautiful thing about the UV effects as well is that you can set this effect up and just perform any other of the routines from the project. And if you want to do the UV effect, you can. But if you don't, the UV lives invisibly on the cards. So it makes no difference to the spreading or the feel of the cards. And it's just ready to go, hidden in plain sight, literally. It's really, the interesting thing about that is I didn't know about that routine until the day of the filming. It was like one that you kept up your sleeve. So we went to shoot the project in Bristol in Mark Bennett's Smoke and Mirrors Magic Bar. And then you just perform this trick. And I'm a lover of all things UV. And I had absolutely no idea, pardon my French, how you did it. Because even though I was aware of how the Savant deck works, I wasn't aware of what was happening within the constructs of the routine. And then seeing how well it played was just, amazing. Yeah. Amazing. I felt very, very inferior because you were like, well, you just bring the routines that you've created. I'll bring the routines that I've created and we'll meet on the day. That's like sweet kind of thing. It's sort of like, because the tutorial is a different type of tutorial. Instead of it being like specific tricks, one after the other, like, okay, this is called trick A, this is called trick B, this is called trick C. There's like instead it's more of a jam session. It's just like, okay, so Craig's like, okay, I'm going to show you an Acan that I do with this. And then as that routine is like being finished, coming to like the teaching of that routine comes to an end, it's like, okay, well, let me teach you this Acan that I do with it. And then from there, Craig's like, oh, that's got me thinking, actually, you could actually just do it this way. And we kind of just start freestyling through the routine. So it's a bit of a different tutorial than normal. There is structure to it, but it also genuinely leads off to riffing as well. That's not forced, just because there's like a lot of things happening that we're seeing that's sparking ideas in the moment.
Yeah.
So when I saw that UV routine, I genuinely hadn't seen it before. And I was like, oh, man, well, okay, here's how to do a change prediction.
Yeah, Craig blows your mind and you're like, I've got to, cool. Yeah.
I'll tell you something
Very
else. I'll tell you something else that's really cool on there as well. On stage, I do a magic square. And I love magic square on stage, I really do. But I don't think it plays that well in close-up, at least not for me. It's too kind of procedural. You've got to have somebody think of a number. You've got to have the thing filled in, you know, and there's memory work, remembering the numbers that have to go in the various different places. Whilst on stage, I can use a crib. There's an amazing magic square routine on there. And the whole idea is that you bring out a card and you have it examined, and this card has a blank grid on it. And they sign the card on the back. So they sign the card on the back and they hold it in between their hands. You then have them think of a number. And when I say think of a number, there's a procedure that you go through that seems incredibly fair, but it's not like a force of a number. They could be going through, you could do this through, you know, I'm trying to not to give too much away, but there's a procedure. There's a procedure, but it feels like they're freely picking a number, right? It really feels very, very fair. So they end up with this number, and then you just snap your fingers, and they turn the card over that they signed with the grid on, and now it's completely filled in with numbers. So you've got this, so you don't have to deal with the procedure of having the numbers written down in the square and explaining. It's more of a magic effect. The card just instantly prints with numbers. And that's the first moment. But then you go straight into the magic square when you go, hang on, you know, your number's not here, but watch this. And now you do the magic square where every line, every square, every, you know, diagonally, horizontally, vertically, that actually adds up to the number they're thinking of. And that is one of my favorite things to do. I love performing that trick as kind of an opening to a set. It's so strong. It really is.
Yeah, I was surprised by that because I'm not a massive fan of. I like the magic square, but I think there's such a like select set of circumstances in which you can perform the magic square or a set of audience members. And of course, people are gonna have difference of opinions with that. But for me, it just doesn't suit my style because it's often not magic. And the way you do it, it actually is a magic effect that has extra then rounds of kickers and bonuses to it. And it makes it really, really interesting. But for me, like what I love about the Savant deck is like there's all these like crazy routines explored from the UV effects to the exact change style routines and the Pegasus page or like page transposition, which is bonkers. But that's like the bonus stuff. You know what I mean? Like just the core routines on their own, like the Rainman effect, or just having someone be able to like properly shuffle a deck of cards under the table, take one card, hide it, and you know exactly what it is. Like that stuff on its own is gold, and then you got the other things on top, and yeah, it's been such a treat to fool so many people with this over the past year or so.
Well, that's kind of what I kind of quickly. Sorry, just want to. People asking some questions in the chat. Alan wants to see a demo, so if you guys want to do something in a second, could we do that? But Pun asked about the UV tricks. We talked a little bit about the UV. I think Alan said there's only two effects taught in the tutorial that involve UV. So there's other 16 that don't. So Pun has asked whether we could give a brief description about the routines. I know you've mentioned a couple of them, but could you give like a dot point of most of the routines on there? Is that possible?
Yeah, from memory.
Yeah, I know because there's a lot you guys could kind of go through.
So the two UV routines, one is the one that Lloyd described. The other one is a little bit like the Anywhere deck or Deep X by Paul Harris. Basically, you have this moment where you have 4 predictions that are put down on the table. And they create a word, and the word that they create effectively has been predicted in UV ink on the back of the predictions. There is a really cool gambling style routine, which, funny story behind this, when I showed it to Lloyd, he was like, oh, that's really cool. But then when he saw me perform it actually to real people, he was like, oh my God, because the people were freaking out over this. And I think it's one that you have to see actually performed in order to understand just how strong it is. But effectively, imagine this. It's a demonstration in shuffle tracking. You have the spectator shuffle the cards, or you shuffle the cards, whatever. You then have them name any card, and it is a completely free choice. They're not looking through the deck, you just say name a card. Whatever card they name, you take it out. And let's say they name a 5, whatever. And let's say it's the 5 of diamonds. So what you do is you hand the 5 of diamonds off to somebody, and you say you have somebody else pick a card. So they pick a card that's a different value, and then you put the 2 cards together in the deck, and you say you're going to shuffle the cards and try and keep track of those 2 cards, and try and keep them together through a series of shuffles. How many shuffles do you want me to do? And they say, let's say 5 shuffles, whatever. You shuffle as many times as they want you to. You can be blindfolded, and then when you go through the deck, those 2 cards are still together in the deck, but whatever the 2 values are, the other 3 cards of both values are now together in the deck as well, which is ridiculously strong when you perform this, especially if you do gambling style things.
I gotta say, this I thought was the weakest effect in the whole project. I felt like it was not taking the full advantage of the secret that we had in our hands, and I think I can't remember. I either said it to you off camera or during the time when you were teaching it, but I'm sure I'm certain that I told you at some point before the evening. I was like, it's not my favorite thing, but somebody might get something from it. And actually, in the trailer, the lady that screams, well, she was reacting really well to a few of the effects from the project, but the biggest reaction you got was from that effect. And that was the one thing that if I had to bet money on it, I would have said, not good. So it shows exactly how little I know about anything. Where the trick that I would have, if we had to cut it down to 10 tricks, it would have been first on the chopping block. If there's what is it, like 18 or 20 effects on the project? If we cut it down to the 10 best ones, it never would have made the cut, in my opinion. And it turns out it got the best reaction, bar none, out of all the performances.
Yeah.
One of the best reactions, at least. It was, surprising to me.
Well, that's one thing I love about this. Like you said, it's not just an effect that you're learning in this. It's like a tool that can give you 18 effects. And I watched it, and there was effects in here that I'm like, I'll never perform that. But there's so many different other effects. I'm like, that's right up my alley. There's something you're going to find on here that you're going to want to perform. Dave has asked how much is it, and I think Alan answered him. It's $34.95 at your favorite magic shop. If you type in !buy, you'll get a whole bunch of links of dealers, and you need a skill level of a difficulty magician. A beginner magician. English.
I think we should address one question that's coming up again and again in the chat, Lloyd, which is people asking about overhand shuffle. There's somebody here that's saying, well, is it true that no overhand shuffle is allowed? This would be a big problem because 99% of laymen will use this and they cannot do a riffle. So can I take this or do you want to take it?
It's up to you. I don't mind answering it. But
well, you start, but I do want to make a point. So you start.
Well, it depends on, like obviously it's not real magic. So there are certain restrictions with the effect, but there's this whole section that covers shuffling, depending whether it's in your hands or their hands. And it depends on the effect you're going to do as well. For example, a lot of the effects, the shuffling has nothing to do with the trick. It's about the choice of the card or other factors that come into play, like a visual transposition or other crazy things. But also, like, well, actually, Craig, you didn't even. I shouted at you for this because I wanted you to make a point. Do you remember ages ago we filmed the Quantum Deck trailer, and when we were shooting the live performances, I think it was towards the very end of the night. I was like, Craig, for the love of God, give that deck when you're finished. Force that deck into the participant's hand to make them examine it because nobody was interested in examining it.
Yeah.
When it went online, when the first question was could laymen examine it? And it was like, well, yeah, they can. Here's video of them doing it. But they not only don't they want to, like, here's the footage of Craig literally slamming it, saying, look at the cards. Because of the structure of the routines, you can allow your audience to shuffle it in certain ways. Certain ways there are restricted. But even like down to the Rainman effect, if you want to shuffle for them, if they're not competent to shuffle at all, because that's also a thing that happens in the real world. If you perform a lot, like you're saying, 99% of laymen, I'm assuming that you perform a lot, you'll know that a lot of laymen are not interested in shuffling because they feel that anxiety of dropping the card. So because you can literally show the deck like this, you can literally hand it to them to go through and look at. They have the option to shuffle if they want. If they're not confident to shuffle, you can shuffle for them. Because of all these very, 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 very fair and incredible things that you can do with this, having one limitation is cancelled out by all the other options that are on the table. So even when it comes to the Rayman effect, it's not about the effect doesn't impress whether they shuffle or not. If you stood there and shuffled 5 times for them and then they just did a bunch of other ways of shuffling it for you, if they're not confident to shuffle it in one certain way, the effect is about the quick calculation. And you prove them it's not in stack in any order because they can see you shuffling it. So it's just literally about the absolute basic day one fundamentals of not just audience control, but you explaining what you're doing as a magician. Oftentimes as magicians, they will rush through an effect and miss out on those. There's like these like Polaroid moments or these little soundbite moments that's important for us as magicians to always employ through our performances. And certain parts of those performances are making sure that they are on the same wavelength as you, as they understand how impossible something is about to be, or how impossible something was that happened. So but again, I'm saying this, I know I'm preaching to the converted. Almost all of you watching this know these things, and you're kind of very, very much covered. So where it may have one limitation, it's completely cancelled out by the rest of it.
Yeah, I agree. One thing that I will say, just to add to that, is that I rarely have people asking me to shuffle the cards. Like Lloyd says, they just, when I perform in the real world, they just don't want to shuffle the cards. And I tend not to have the spectator shuffle the cards a lot of the time because it slows my performance down. When I'm in a gigging situation, a lot of the time, it's like, I want to get to the effect. I want to get to the effect. Having them shuffle the cards isn't important. Two things. One, if you know, like Lloyd said, you can, you know, if they don't want to shuffle, you can shuffle yourself. They will see that those cards are completely and totally and utterly shuffled, so it's not a possible problem. But second of all, and I don't want to get into exposure, but second of all, in terms of 99% of people, they will only do overhand shuffles. That's cool. If you're ever in a situation, this isn't about the Savant Deck, this is just in general. If you're ever in a situation and you want people to shuffle with a riffle shuffle or a waterfall shuffle, Quantamarites has already got you covered. And this is just something that you should know.
Got pants on.
Sorry? I have got pants on. I luckily did it at the last second. So this is not a Savant Deck, but if you want to have somebody, a layman, shuffle a pack of cards, and you want them to do a waterfall type shuffle or a riffle type shuffle, you do the shuffle yourself like this, and then give them a ribbon spread, and then say to them, look, you push them together yourself so you can see that they really are being shuffled. Now you pick them up yourself and give them a cut. That spectator is now convinced that those cards are shuffled because they are. So, you know, that we can thank Quantamarites for that gem. But if you're ever in a situation, whether you buy the Savant Deck or not, if you're ever in a situation when you want to have somebody shuffle a pack of cards and they can't do a waterfall shuffle and you want them to for whatever reason, that's a great technique to use.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like there's two things. Danny D'Ortiz has my favorite ever thing on this is that if you're, or the best false shuffle in the world is to drop your deck on the table and let it spread out, and then just present and pick it back up, because that tells them without you ever saying a word that the deck's order and chaotic nature of it doesn't matter. But secondly, there's a very, very, and when I talked about earlier, I mentioned the word qualifiers. There's a very, very simple qualifier, especially if you perform to a group of people. You say, I want somebody to give this deck a good shuffle like this. Who can do that? And if somebody will always normally they will put their hand up. And if they can't, you say, you can't do it. Are you happy for me to shuffle? And they'll say, yeah, because they can see you're really shuffling and you've just eliminated any issues. Yep. Because people are kind of daunted by the shuffle, but you say, I want someone to give them a really good shuffle like this. And as soon as either they'll do it or they'll go, no, I can see you're doing it though, so I'm happy. And then you've got other options as well, so they can do different types of shuffles as well. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's like there's certain tricks where magicians insist on a card or a coin being signed when there's no need for it. You're running when you're not being chased. The worrying about certain things with this is in the same vein. There's so much other overproving going on. You're kind of beating the horse after it's been turned into horse burger.
Also, in terms of the two questions that just popped up, Brandon Ellis, what's the reset like? 99% of the routines, the reset is immediate. I'm telling you right now, anytime you see my name attached to something, you can guarantee that there's going to be an immediate instant reset there, because I haven't got time for bullshit. I perform to real people in the real world. I've got to get from one table to another table quickly. Now, if it was Lloyd on his own, I don't know if that would be the case, because Lloyd doesn't perform for real people. That's not a diss. He performs socially.
For puppets.
Yeah, he performs through puppets and his dog. Not the dead one, obviously, the live one.
Don't say that about Kaylee. She's a very nice lady.
He's lovely. But you know, I perform to real people, and that 99% of the routines, I think 100%, that there's an
on the Rainman routine, depend on the way you want to present it.
Yes,
it can be instant. Well, yeah, I mean the general version is like instant reset, but there is a way that takes like a brief and it's reset as you are performing it. So well, yeah, it is. I suppose I need to shut up.
Yeah. It is. Pretty much instant reset on every single trick. So and then can you do the Rosetta shuffle Yes, absolutely, 100%. Not that you'd need to, because you can actually shuffle them. For those of you that don't know, the Rosetta Shuffle is a full deck, full shuffle, which is great if you're using a stack, but you're not using a stack here. So why bother doing a Rosetta Shuffle when you can do a real shuffle?
Well, there was another question I saw about what if like the cards get dropped on the ground? Is the reset time there altered? You're talking about dropping on the table. Is there a chance that
You'd need to do something to be out before you could perform again. It would probably take you about a minute, maybe. I would
It's
say.
the weirdest thing in the world because without really getting into exposure, but trying to be as honest as possible, the deck is in an order, but that order can also be shuffled.
Yeah.
So the deck is in an order. So if you drop them and they spread everywhere, it's an order that all of you actually already know, very, very simply. But then you can literally reshuffle the cards.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Over. So it's very hard to explain.
Yeah. I
If you
think
drop them, you
99%
just
of
have
the
to put them
magicians
back in
on
that
this
order.
would know that how. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's hard. Yeah. It's one of
very
those
hard
ones
to
to
describe without giving it away,
Yeah.
but very, 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 very basic order, which you all sort of already know.
Yeah.
So if you drop them, you just pick them up in that order.
Yeah.
And then you can shuffle them again.
Chunky asked before about memory work, and I know you kind of went through this no memory work, and it kind of brings around to what Sam is saying. Is there like a crib involved? How much? Because I saw Chunky say during the performance, when you're performing this, you look like you were like really concentrating. I'm sure that's just because of the performance you want to like put on, that you're not just going, it's this. You kind of want to like put on, but can you put their minds at ease of how much work you need to be doing in these routines?
If you make it out of, I mean, in the UK, I suppose it'd be year 6 in school, which is when you're 11. That's the there's no memory work. It's your fundamental like elementary school mathematics, but I'm not talking big mathematics. It is the fundamentals.
And not with all the routines, Lloyd. There's only a few routines that routines.
Yeah, only a couple of the routines even use that at all. A lot of them just rely on the mechanics of the deck. They have nothing like the UV effects and the paper transposition. That's just selecting a card and revealing a card essentially. There's no additional work there going on.
So yeah, once you get this deck in your hands, you're going to obviously figure out how the method works and see the tutorial of all these different routines you can do and kind of come up with your own routines on what you can do with this deck, depending on your own performance style, I'm sure. Right? Mm-hmm. So I think that's a good way forwards for this. So that kind of brings me around to, you kind of mentioned this, Craig, of you being a table hopping magician that doesn't have time to reset. Is there... So this is kind of like perfect for anyone that does, you professional working magicians.
Look, it's perfect for everybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at.
It's easy enough. It's very easy. I can't think of a project that I've released that's as universally across the whole tutorial as easy to perform as this. You will literally know what you need to do from opening it up and be able to do it immediately. So if you're a beginner, if you're a rank amateur, you will be able to do this immediately. But the effects are powerful enough that a working pro, whether it's close-up or stage, will find routines that they'll be able to do immediately. And as I say, on the tutorial, there's multiple live performances, but one of those live performances is like a 22-minute set to the same group of people. And I'm doing such a range of magic. I think I do 5 different routines in 22 minutes. And you wouldn't think that it was the same gaff deck that was being used to do all 5 of those routines. But everything I did required no skill whatsoever. So it's something that everyone can do. And I saw a question earlier on about what can you, if the magician, if the person who's purchasing the deck can't do a riffle shuffle, then what are the options? We go through that on the tutorial. We go through ways of, doing multiple cuts all over the table and then getting the spectator to gather them up in any order. The magician can do an overhand shuffle.
The magician can overhand shuffle.
Yep.
Just the participants can't. That's pretty, can't, but they can do normal shuffles. So if you can't riffle shuffle and they can, even better.
Yep.
It's even more fair. But again, a lot of the routines are not based around the notion that that deck must or must not have been in a particular order for it to have worked. So like they just select a card. Like there's a lot of routines you like pick a card or take this or do that or this is going to happen here. So it depends on what routine you use, but there's a lot that whether the deck shuffle or not is not part of it.
And the bottom line is just the simplest routine with it. The first thing that we go through on the tutorial, which is the second trick that you see in the trailer, which is spectator picks a card. They literally, I mean, in that performance, Lloyd got the spectator to shuffle the cards a few times. Great. But even if you didn't, even if you never got the spectator to shuffle the cards, and you never shuffled the cards, having them go through the deck and showing that they're completely and totally different and checking every single card, and then having them literally cut as many times as they want to, take the card, look at it, put it away, and then the rest of the cards are put away, and then with no memory work, no fishing, no anything, you're immediately able to tell them exactly what the card is without 100% accuracy every single time. That itself is crazy. Imagine how you could use that and combine it with other things, like a brainwave deck, for example.
Well, I think that's an important point that maybe like we weren't answering or pointing our answer to when people are saying, is there any memory work? Because I think we were focusing on like the number stuff. But in terms of, I mean, I think maybe, at least for me, I didn't consider it, where there's like the second full performance in the trailer where I have the participant shuffle the deck, take a card out, hide it away, and then I know what the identity is. Normally, like when you see David Blaine doing that on TV, and he's got, I think it's Michael Jordan. He puts the deck behind his back, and he has the participant pick a card out blindly, and he has Michael Jordan, and he puts the card in his pocket and he reveals it. For that effect, without getting into spoilers, for that effect, you would all have to know the work of a very famous Spanish magician or something along those lines, in which they could not riffle shuffle the deck. And also, you'd have to use, and I'm trying to not expose it. I know no layman in the world of watching this live stream this deeply into the live stream anyway. But essentially, you'd have to, know full order of the deck. With a Savant deck, you don't at all. So the minute you watch the tutorial and you watch the section which explains about knowing the cards, you can literally, if you don't want them to shuffle or anything, you could say, look, take this deck. I can shuffle it for you if you can't shuffle, or you can keep it like this or whatever it's going to be. And I want you to go through the cards one by one, under the table, in the next room, whatever you want to do. Go through the cards until you find one that you love and put it in your pocket. We'll put the rest away in a box so they're not even in play anymore. And with no memory work at all. At all. No memory work whatsoever. In fact, everybody watching this video now already knows the little trick to it. With no memory work whatsoever, no maths at all, you immediately will know the identity of their card. And that's something that is a really like beautiful principle of the Savant deck, which I love. I form my favorite stack is mnemonica. I use it every day of my life. But there are just things that cannot be done with mnemonica that you can do with the Savant deck. One of the other things is that if you wanted to, if you have a confidant or a friend, or I think almost all of us here have somebody in our lives that we share our magic with to get critique and feedback from. And if you don't, you definitely need someone like that who will give you the honesty that a magician wants, because they see it from a different perspective. Well, if you've got someone like that with you and you're performing, because this is so easy to do, and there is no memory work, you can explain to them, hey, this is how this works. If I do this effect, you cue me what that card is that they've taken. It means you can create, if you wanted to, a confidant or a helper that you trust, obviously, so that you can amplify your performances to go from, they're already pretty miraculous as it is. You can go from like miracle status to starting a cult, because this is going to take you seconds to learn. Literally, I mean, I'm so close to review.
It's
Someone's
so
asked,
hard.
are you going to do an expose? We're not going to expose this. This won't be exposed in a few weeks or a few months. This is about the secret. It's too good of a secret to share. But this, realistically, the secret to this can be taught in under 20 seconds.
Yes, it can.
If I met someone that didn't know it, I could teach them in under 10 seconds, concisely.
Yep.
Yeah.
I will say very quickly, I've been looking at a couple of the questions, a couple of questions that have come up. Somebody said, can you do an Out of This World? Can it be used as a regular deck? Can you do other card tricks with it? One, yes, you can do other card tricks with it. Yes, you can use it as a regular deck. You could give this deck to a layperson and have them play poker with it, and they would not realize that there's anything going on with this deck. You could use this deck as your deck to play cards with, and nobody would know what was going on with it. If you wanted to take this deck of cards and do cards across, great, you can do. You want to do Paul Harris's Reset with it, absolutely fine, not a problem. There is not a specific Out of This World taught on this project, but you can do any Out of This World. Go Paul Curry, go anybody, you'll be able to do it. Now, the trade-off is, if you are taking cards out and doing Reset or whatever it is, there is a period of time where you're going to have to put everything back together, like Lloyd said. It's in an order that can be shuffled, which sounds weird, but it is. So if you're going to be doing, but could you do a 20-minute set with Savant and then use the same deck to go into a completely different 20-minute set using it as a regular deck and doing stuff like Out of This World or Oil and Water or whatever? Absolutely fine. Absolutely not a problem. Yes, you can.
I would say two things. I wouldn't recommend it just because this is a deck of cards and this will last as long as a deck of cards lasts. So
yeah,
I use my Savant deck for my Savant performances purely to extend the life on it, because at the end of the day, this essentially is just essentially a regular deck of cards that's had a small thing done to it, so it'll last as long as the paper in a deck of cards lasts. So
yeah,
I wouldn't necessarily recommend using it for everything constantly, just because you want to get the most life out of your deck as a normal deck anyway.
Yep.
Well, yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
I just want to say also too quickly, thanks Tommy J for 7 months as a gold member. He just did a thing there, and I don't know if you guys saw on the screen a countdown come up. It takes a photo of me whenever someone becomes a member and puts it into our Discord. So there's like Tommy's photo there he did when he subscribed, when he became a member, and it's sealed on our Discord for time. I'll share that to Murphy's socials as well. So thank you again, Tommy. And Tommy asks, how can he enter the giveaway? And greetings from Austria, by the way. So thank you for popping in, Tommy. I'll tell you what happens in 7 minutes, but it's going to be an exclamation mark way to enter.
What do members get? If I become a member, what happens?
So if you're a YouTube member, you get access to there's all this private content that only members get. So a bunch of at the table lectures. So I think Craig's on there. I think there's Luke Dancy's, there's Daniel Garcia's, there's Danny Doratiz's, there's all these lectures that you can get. So a bunch of lectures plus exclusive content where there are previous lives that we've done that have been exposing what the effect is and what the gimmick is. I don't know if we'll do that for this one because we're trying to kind of keep it hush-hush, but there are other ones where we actually show it off on the call, like we did with Firefly. We showed how it works, how it's set up, how you get into it, that type of thing. So brilliant. Thank you for bringing that. Great question there, Lloyd Barnes.
No, I was sorry. I think it's more of my ignorance that I asked.
That was great. I appreciate that.
Good questions coming in.
Yeah, let me take two of them very quickly.
Yeah.
Please, can the routines be done without a table? Yeah. Most of my performances don't require a table. There was there's a whole live performance set. Mark Bennett had, we filmed this at Smoke and Mirrors, and Mark Bennett is the owner of Smoke and Mirrors, and he brought 3 or 4 people over after one of his shows to us. And I was standing in the middle of the room, and he's like, can you show some tricks to my friends? And I did an entire set to him and his friends, just completely without a table. So yes. The other thing is, there is a very little known plot in Magic that you guys might not have heard of because it's kind of underground. And it's not a plot I'm really that interested in. It's called Acan. And without wanting to spend too much time on Acan, there is an incredible Acan routine on here. In fact, when me and Lloyd started jamming, one of the first things that we came up with is this killer Acan. And when you see the sets that I do in the live performances, I close with this Acan because frankly, you cannot go further than the Acan. The effect is, at the beginning, you hand somebody a red deck of cards. And you hand them a red deck, you hand them a blue deck of cards, and they hold on to it, they put it in their pocket. You then do whatever savant routines you want to do, and then at the end, you have somebody pick a card from the savant deck, and then you have somebody generate a completely random number using the savant deck, and they are generating a completely random number. It feels incredibly fair, and there's no way that you could have known the card or the number ahead of time. You then put the Savant deck to one side. You have them take the deck out they've been holding from the beginning of the set, and whatever their number is, you get them to deal face down to their number. And when they do, there's one red card in that deck, and all of the rest of the cards are blue, and that is actually the card that they picked from the Savant deck. That's moment number one. Well, moment number 1 and 2. One is that there's one blue card. 2 is that it's actually the card that they picked. And then moment number 3, which just blows their ever-loving tits off, is you then say, well, you know, the thing is, you had no choice. Turn the cards over. And now they look at all the other cards they're holding, and they're all blank, completely blank. And the one card that's printed in that deck is the card they picked at the position that they named. And the entire deck is examinable. Obviously, the Savant deck's examinable. The left. And if you look at the trailer at the end, there's a man and a woman going, oh my God, you're like Gandalf. Oh, that's incredible. And they just had their mind blown with 22 minutes of Savant, and they just had the blank deck done on them, and they were just like, this is just ridiculous. So yeah, there's an Acan on there.
Yeah, shout out to Magic Alon as well, who's like our biggest like supporter in the chat today. He's helping us. I think he corrected us earlier when he counted how many routines on the project. We were like, it's about 20, and he came in and said that 18. He's also he's just a massive shout out to Alan.
Thank you, buddy.
3 Acans a port.
There's 3 Acans. My God, I'm surprised you let me get away with that.
I think 2 of them might be mine. Or at least one of them is.
That's funny.
Yeah, thank you, Alan. I appreciate that, mate. I also want to say a big thank you too, because I ate those food. Just became a gold member. So thank you so much, mate. You'll find a little link on our first main page of YouTube where you can go access all that content just for you. So I appreciate that, mate. Whoever keeps doing the feet cam, you guys need to stop.
Wait, is somebody controlling that?
Yeah, so there's little things you can type in the chat to like change camera angles, like have different cameras. And we used to have it for my dog that was here in his bed, but he's down at the house. So we changed it up a little while ago to feet. Yeah, see, someone keeps doing feet cam. So, hello. Someone keeps wanting to see my feet on cam. So that's
I'm just glad that, like, because we've had many phone calls where we've both been essentially or fully naked. So this could have gone a very different direction.
Yeah, I normally have shoes on, and it's too hot in here, so I just have, see, there's different cam here. There's cameras all around my office, so.
You don't want to say Lloyd feet. My feet are disgusting.
Mate, yeah, no, I don't want to say that. That's why I put
How
socks
do I see?
on.
Okay.
Could you imagine if I had socks off? You saw my hairy toes.
Here we go.
This has become a different kind of stream altogether. Yeah, Evitar said, how do I see Lloyd's feet? Evitar, you don't want to see this now, mate. You don't. Why'd you do this, buddy? Why?
I try and do a riffle shuffle.
Oh dear, this has become. Oh dear, this has become a thing.
Here we go. Oh.
Well.
Christ.
Okay, moving this right along.
Oh, it's like I'm giving birth right now.
Please let the camera don't focus up.
Take it off him. Take it off him, Bo. I was you and me.
Yeah,
I got it.
I was going to change it to the full screen.
Like crack.
And then I looked at the monitor. That's what he was doing. I was like, I don't want this.
Oh my God.
Oh, why is it gone?
Dear. Oh, dear.
Hey, this is now turned into OnlyFans. Come on.
Yeah, that's why we've changed it off you, mate. We don't want this. Yeah, King OK, he said, I've started a feet trend. Let's get this back on track. Marcelino said, how easy is this to do for a beginner? A beginner magician can absolutely do this straight out of the box.
OnlyFans.
Yeah, Rich said, how's this happening right now? In what side? He's in the context.
This is just
We're upset. Everyone's leaving the chat. We've actually lost half of our viewers thanks to that, Lloyd. So I appreciate that, buddy.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. We're good.
In fact, we got more.
Yeah. We've got 97 new members because they want to see feet cam. Now, moving on. I'm trying to go back through the comments, but all I'm seeing is feet stuff.
I'm glad no one asked me to shuffle with my butt cheeks.
Oh my God, no.
It's been done before.
There was a question I want to go. I'm just trying to move this on as quick as I can.
Bo, before you go answer that question, in 7 seconds, it's your giveaway.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. I'll get into that in a second. Marcelino said, can you mention me in your live so I can show my daughter? Lol, thank you. Who wants to do the shout out?
Who? Marcy who?
Marcelino. I'm probably saying that wrong. M-A-R-C...
Marcelino. But to Marcelino's daughter, just so you know, your dad is a freaking legend. And we're not just going to give him a shout out. We're going to say hello, goodbye, Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday, Happy Valentine's Day. We want to wish him good luck and salutations for every single day of the next year because he's such a badass.
Amen. Amen.
What he said.
All right, now into giveaway time. All I need you guys to do is we've got a new system up, so hopefully this works after our last live stream, is I need you guys to type in !prize to enter the giveaway, and that'll put you into the chat. So the last time we did this, we had to have people come in and have it work. So you can see there it's slowly selecting everyone's prizes come in. Because last time we did this, there was nothing on screen to see everyone that had entered. So we had people going, oh, have I been entered? We can show you at the end of this now that everyone has entered. And I'll show you what the prize is. We actually will go to the screen here. And we've got a little wheel. Whee! And we can spin this bad boy. We've got a whole bunch of different things on here. So if I go into... We'll do that at the end, because I've got to go into a different tab here. But we've got a whole bunch of different things. We've got a mystery trick. We've got no prize, which if we do that, we're just going to spin it again, because we're all here for a bit of fun. World's Greatest Magic, mystery deck, an unreleased trick that isn't out yet. We'll put you on the list to get it before it's released anywhere in the world.
There isn't a Savant Deck on there. Are you not giving away a Savant?
No, we don't give away new products on the same week they're released.
Yeah,
and then nobody wants to get them. They just wait to win.
Honestly, Murphy needs to put his hand in his pocket.
Well, so there's Murphy's box, so it could be included in a Murphy's box. The Murphy's box is selected by Connor.
It's not.
Spoiler alert, it's not. It's actually done by Connor. So Connor will go through and select everything. And for people that are entering more than once, it only chooses you once. So I see a lot of people spamming prize. If you only do it once, if you do it 900 times, it'll only do once. Thank you for all the comments, but it'll only put you in one time.
Can't game the system with him.
Yeah, you can't do it.
I've entered. Is that okay?
You what?
I've entered the prize.
Yeah, that's fine. If you win, you have to give it away.
No.
So let's spin the wheel and see what we get, and then we will draw out the winner. So this person's going to win a mystery trick. Congratulations. Oh, Brett, thank you so much for being a new subscriber.
This is rigged.
This is a mystery trick, but you don't know what it is. Connor's actually going to choose. So he's going to go through the warehouse and choose something out for you guys.
Connor, get a Savant Deck.
Yeah, get a Savant Deck in there. Annoy Lloyd. But
I think nobody should buy the Savant Deck because it's too good. Do you know like how like the invisible deck is like now like common knowledge? This is like a Savant Deck is going to happen and everyone's going to get it and then everyone's like, oh yeah, it's just a Savant Deck. You know, so no one buy it. Keep it. Let us keep it. No prizes, no giveaways.
All right, so these are all the entries. We can see them all here. And then we're going to go in here to winners and we're going to pick a winner. So who's it gonna? Evitar! Congratulations, buddy. You are a winner. You got the random prize. Enter sirens here. Boop, boop.
Craig, do a dance.
Hang on, wait. We need to go.
You look like the Numa guy. No.
We're not having another giveaway. But we will have another giveaway on this stream. All you need to do is comment Savant in the comment section, not in the live chat, in the comment section. Comment Savant in. And on next episode of Stump, I'll draw a name out at random, and you'll win a Savant Deck? No. You'll get a prize. You'll get something cool. Lloyd's face there was horrified.
My chair just went like clunk.
Yeah.
What prize can they get? That's cool.
Well, yeah. Well, how about you ever think during the stream and whoever wins next week's prize will get that. We'll announce it at the end of the stream.
Okay.
Well, actually, what I have here, if you guys want to, I'll get it from a second. I have to get away from Cam, so this is unscripted.
Why don't you give away? Oh, he's gone. Why don't you give away? He's still
Wait,
gone.
Craig, Bo's gone. Let's cause chaos. Get your tits out.
It's a...
Oh, he's back.
Whoa. So why do we go feet cam and Lloyd's nipples? I don't want this on stream. We've got a Murphy's Magic bathtub. So we've got a Murphy's Magic bathtub, which we can load up full of cool prizes. And what we'll do is we'll get Austin and Craig to sign in there. They'll put their signatures in, and we'll load it up full of cool tricks.
Why don't you put in there the very first, why don't you give away, because I love this trick, the very first trick that me and Lloyd ever worked on together and released as a partnership. Why don't you put an infinity deck in there?
Okay, yeah, it'll be, yeah, we can load it infinity deck. It's a whole bunch of...
Infinity deck is killer. I was doing that just a couple of nights ago in a gig, and it kills. Infinity deck is awesome.
So there you go. Whoever types Savant in the comments will win a bathtub with Infinity Deck and a bunch of other cool things, along with Craig's and Austin's signature.
Austin's just giving you carte blanche, Craig, because Austin Murphy's just said, whatever Craig says, do it.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I didn't expect Austin to see in the chat. Hello, boss. How are you? Good to see you.
We should call him Boston Murphy.
Boston Murphy.
Well, Craig, you should probably say whoever wins next week gets one copy of every Murphy's product you've produced.
So thanks so much for joining us, guys.
I think that whoever wins next week should get a single copy of everything that me and Lloyd have done at Murphy's Magic.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, okay, so how do I enter?
Yeah.
Because I genuinely need an extra Lux.
So that would be Lux, that would be Dex, that would be
Pro Caps, a Quantum Deck, Atomic Deck, Focus,
Deck,
Evoke,
Deck, yeah, ED Seats,
ED Seat,
Big Blind.
Oh, Big Blind, an unreleased trick.
Throw an unreleased trick in there of ours as well.
There you go. Well, Austin said deal. Consider it done. So let's go, baby.
Okay, oh my God.
Seriously, how did he win this? Because I want to enter.
Man from Murphy, he said yes. Let's do it. How do we enter?
So it's just comment Savant in the comment section. And then next week.
In the live chat section?
No, in the comments. Because you can do it in the live chat, but I just have to go through.
This is too easy.
I just have to go through and like find a name.
When the live stream ends, they have to go in the comments of this video and click and just comment
Savant. It'll be, look, it's not hard for me. It's easy for me.
10 people have commented in the wrong place.
That's okay. It's just easier for me to go to the comments instead of going through the live chat and trying to find it all. Where the comments, I can type in Savant and have them all come up. So if you guys want to do it in the live chat, it's just gonna make my life harder. That's fine. I don't mind.
Actually, yeah, just do it in the live chat, everyone. Because not going to go through
I knew that was going to happen. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
And while you're at it, can someone type feet as well because it pisses him off?
Yeah, no. I don't know if you can see, I'm getting sweaty in here, and my feet are probably minging. So this is great. I've literally written down.
There you go. Thank you. Can someone experiment and type butt cheeks and see what happens then?
That's a different kind of cam. Oh dear. Okay, there's a lot of feet going on. I need to turn this cam off.
All the feet.
We used to have it. You used to type in !crash, and it used to like come up. The stream now has technical difficulties, but we had people spam that. So it was literally like the last stream we did. We had it come up like, I think it was like up for like 5 minutes. So it's got a really big cooldown on it at the moment.
Yeah, Bo, you have a beautiful mind at the best of times, but that might be the single-handed dumbest thing you ever done.
Well, it doesn't shut down. It doesn't shut down the audio.
Stream on a live stream.
Well, it doesn't shut down the audio. It just has a screen that comes up, so you can still hear us talk. I was going to do it. You'd turn all the lights off in the office, and you could shut it down, but you'd have to. Oh, what we?
Oh, what?
Oh, there you go. Change that real quick.
Wait, why did it cut to me then?
Dude, I panicked. I didn't know what to do.
Did you notice that while it cut to him, he was licking his lips like this? He was like.
Okay, this chat is turned. I don't know why. Oh man, this is why I'm sweating. This is my worst nightmare right now. How do I move the stream on from here?
Lightning fast calculations.
Yeah, let's go. Savant Deck. Oh, that's one question
By the
I
way,
saw.
is anybody going to comment that we kind of spelt the word calculate?
That's what I was going to ask. Yep.
there
Illusionist
is,
just
there
mentioned it.
is. This will be revealed at a later date.
Bullshit.
This will be no, I swear to God. You may have all noticed that that there was no hype for this release because we were trying something different. There will be something exposed at a later date, and that's all I'm saying. And a lot of you will be going, "Oh, you," and yeah, that's all I'm saying. So watch this space.
So it
It's
wasn't.
so underground. Even I don't know what he's talking
So
about.
it wasn't us just being bad at spelling. Like you haven't got me to design the tech. You've actually there's a reason why.
I'm a mathlete, not an athlete.
There's 2 errors on the packaging, Alan says. So there you go. I don't know about them. We'll have to find out. Alan, I do want to mention that there is a Craig Petty live free lecture. It's not pre-recorded. So if you type in !lecture, you'll go to Avatar. Thank you for being a member, buddy.
I will say, if you do spot any spelling mistakes on the packaging, please feel free to post it on social media.
Yeah.
Yep. We're good with that. Yes, I do have to say, I am doing a live lecture for the Alan Magic Society. It's on Sunday. It's my 3rd lecture for them. I did a lecture on business and marketing and a lecture on magic. This is going to be another magic lecture. There's going to be everything. There's going to be cards. There's going to be coins. There's going to be a ton of stuff. But here's the cool thing. Pretty much all of it has never been lectured on before. It's a brand new lecture that I've put together for the guys at the Alan Magic Society. And it's completely free of charge to enter. It's this Sunday. Completely free. Alan's told me I can go for 7 hours on that lecture. So I'm going to be going for the whole time.
Dear.
If you thought focus was long, buckle in, motherfucker. It's going to be so long. Yes, deal with it, Alan. Some of the material I lectured in Cardiff last night, and Lloyd saw that. So it's really killer material that you guys are going to love. So
funny story. Craig was lecturing at Cardiff Magic Society last night, and I was like really tired. So you started at 8 p.m. and I was like, okay, so you started at 8 p.m. It was 10:30, and you had sort of wrapped up an effect, and and it was people started to get up and things, and I was like, I was texting my wife, I was like, oh great, like 2.5 hours, I'm gonna get in the car and come home now because it's late and I'm tired, and then after like 5 minutes of people milling around, Craig was like, right, should we start the second half of the lecture? So I was like, yay. Okay. So you started the second half of the lecture. You did like half an hour's worth of tricks, and then you looked out of everyone there. You were like, how am I for time? Can I keep going? And I just said, no, you can't. It's closing time. And so you did. You stopped it. But actually, you probably could have gone on for longer. But I was afraid of you going on like you've done in the past till like 2 a.m.
Yes. This lecture follow these organisers is going to be long, and it's going to be amazing. And I can't believe that we've got through this entire live, Lloyd, without you telling people what happened when I signed the book.
Oh, this is hilarious. I even have a video of it. So when we get to the Magic Club, they have a register for safety. So they need to know how many people are inside the club, so that if there's a fire, when you go and queue outside, they can count it off. So Russ, one of the organisers, as well as Ryan was there, who was in the chat, came round and he put Cardiff Magic Society on a piece of paper in a notebook, and he said the register, and he said, hey, can you stick your name on this to Craig? And Craig thought he was being asked for his autograph and decided to sign like to the page with his signature, thinking he was a celebrity. Where is it gonna be? Is it gonna show up there? Where is it? Is it too bright?
Oh yeah, I think so.
This is literally Craig signing his name like an autograph on the book, and then everyone was just crying.
In my defense, I get asked, I go to magic things, and a lot of people will thrust the thing in me and say, will you sign this? And
Because they think you're Heston Blumenthal.
I was trying to put together the lecture. I hadn't organized it at that point. So I was trying to figure out what I was doing, and I got, basically, I'm a total dick.
It was really embarrassing for Craig, and I've told the story like 4 times already today, so, you know. Because people think you're this famous TV chef called Heston Blumenthal.
Oh, jeez. I was about to turn over the camera, but I love that it was side by side. The likeliness is uncanny.
Let me see if it'll focus. Put your glasses on and make me a curry.
So bad.
Oh, hang on. How did we get 2 Craigs on chat there? That was crazy.
That was 2 Heston Blumenthal.
Oh, jeez, yeah. Jeez, what is this? What? So you're here for half of Savant Deck. If you guys just want to tune into the first 30 minutes of this live, it's just Savant Deck. The other 45 minutes is Feet, Heston Blumenthal, and pizza eating, which is good. Yep, great. Love it.
And the sad thing is, that means we've had this live chat went much better than we thought it was going to.
Yeah. Stop with the feet. I did
not think that other one was a foot.
I do want to ask. I did see a question back before we were talking about all the routines, and there's a lot of talk about things on the chat. Someone did ask about angles. Are there any angle restrictions? What are angles like with this? Can you perform this surrounded? That kind of thing.
Yes. Completely surrounded. No angle issues at all.
I need to turn this feet cam off. There you go. Thank you very much. King OK just wants to know, what's the next Craig release? Well, you've got 4 days to find out when he does his next release.
Oh, fuck off. I
mean... language warning on this live, guys.
Is Austin Murphy still in the chat?
I hope not.
I'm not even employed by him. I think I might have just got fired.
He's kicking you straight out of that bathtub. One-man bathtub from now on.
I will have you know that I am not got another trick planned for it released until maybe the summer, maybe even a little bit longer. I don't know. There's not anything coming out soon. Maybe after we're in the summer now, aren't we?
The next gigantic Craig Petty release is a joint one that you've got coming out with me, and we've been working on it for 3 years. And me and Craig have been working on a full gaff deck, a proper gaff deck with a bunch of different gaff cards in it that all do different crazy things. And we finally Craig.
Stop, Craig. Jeez, we need to zap him. We need to zap him.
I'm not going to say anything.
I do want to quickly mention though that there was a secret giveaway on our Instagram that no one's entered on the chat. I was going to draw out a winner for this, so we might break up those prizes into 2. Have the bathtub prize as like a whole bunch of releases and stuff, and then there will be a bigger box of like a bunch of tricks. There is something on our Instagram. If you go to our Stumped post and type in the word that you need to type in, we'll send you a DM with what you need to do for this live chat, and just go throw that in the comments after the stream, and you'll be entered into the giveaway. Don't do it now, Lloyd. What are you doing?
I need every chance I can get.
Yeah, do it after the stream, but you'll learn what the secret is. You'll type it into chat. Because I wrote down so many things that I thought would be funny for this. Like, I wanted so many people just to write in the chat, oh, great, another Craig Petty release, yawn. But just seeing, like, a lot of people and no one's done it. So... Because everyone's pumped about it.
When me and Lloyd come together, magic happens.
That's it. Marcelino, no, you don't need to write Savant anymore. I've seen your post several times, and I've looked it up. I can search for it. I'll find everyone that has typed in Savant. Are there going to be refill decks for people who own Savant Deck?
I don't think you'll need refill. It's going to last a long time, guys.
It's a regular deck.
It's not like roughing fluid that wears off over time or like anything. It's going to last as long as a normal deck of cards would last, which is why Lloyd says save it just for your Savant routines. I mean, I've been using the same deck now since way before the shoot, and it's perfectly fine, and I gig a lot. I think if we brought out refill decks, I don't think it'd be a very popular thing, because I think that people are going to buy it. Will you need to buy another one at some point? Maybe at some point down the line, yeah, but it's not like, I don't think you'll have a problem with that.
Yeah, there you go. I've answered all my questions, and I think chat is kind of like winding up on the questions. If you guys want to know anything else about the Savant Deck, please throw it in chat now.
I just answered someone in the chat. Chunky Sausage asked, "Can this be used with Lux?" And it can, yeah, because the UV effects in there, you can use Lux. So instead of it just being like, oh, here's a static UV reveal, you could say, I want you to imagine the card that you're thinking of visually appearing on this card, and then you can use Lux to make it slowly and visually appear. And the same for the effect that uses letters with UV as well. So you can whatever word you're gonna reveal with those UV letters, if you choose to set the deck up like that, then you can just reframe the effect and use Lux to visually make the thought of word appear, or whatever you want to do with it. But yeah, totally can.
Sweet. Stan asked, will there be a golden ticket for this effect? No, there's not. There's only the golden ticket for Atomic, but that still hasn't been claimed yet. I think
there is an Atomic deck somewhere out.
Yeah.
Dealers' shelves somewhere, and it's got a golden ticket on it.
Yeah, I think 4 out of the 5 silver have been claimed. Not the gold hasn't been claimed, so that's still out there. You know what's going to happen? It's going to be 10 years down the road. Craig's going to be retired, and we have to bring him in from retirement to do a release, and you have to meet Craig in the Murphy studio. Fly both years to California. But that's still out there.
Find an Atomic deck in a warehouse somewhere in 15 years' time. Yeah. It's like, oh, we didn't think anybody. They're all being sold. Whoa, there's one last one. It's a golden ticket. Yeah, that could happen.
King OK's entered the competition. Thank you so much, King OK. He knows what the secret word is. Eviatar asked. I don't even want to ask that question.
Go on.
It's about Lloyd's feet on the tutorial. We're moving on from there quickly.
Let's go.
Gary asks, Craig, will you be in Ferrybridge?
Yes, not only will I be at the Ferrybridge Magic Convention on the 6th of July, I am doing a lecture there, and Ryland and Thea, my kids, otherwise known as Magic and Mischief, are doing their illusion show and the gala show in the evening. So if you want to see a 10-year-old and a 12-year-old do an illusion show, and you want to see me do a lecture live, along with a bunch of other stuff, Ferrybridge Magic Convention will all be there. I'm going with the whole fam.
Ayo! Perfect. What an answer. What an answer. Matthias asks, Craig, will you be launching your OnlyCans?
OnlyFans?
No, OnlyCans. Only any cards at any numbers. And Brendan has asked, is anyone available to do a live demo of Savant? Is there anything you want to do quickly for everyone?
I could do a quick one.
Yeah, if you want. And then we can wind up the stream. I think there's...
If you want to. You go.
Yeah,
this is one there, Craig, or shall I do it? Or
yeah, Tommy. While Lloyd gets ready for that, Tommy. Yes, there's on our Instagram. If you see our stumped thing where it says you were stumped by it, he was stumped by it. There's a word you need to type. We'll send you a DM with what you need to do for the competition. It's all written in there. King OK's already entered. So far, King OK is the only one that's going to win this stuff.
I need to get like a surface, or I'll tilt my. I can't. I got a camera there. All right, I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to improvise a little bit.
Wrong person. There we go. My first time.
I'll do like a sort of stand-up version of the Rainman trick, but this is gonna be so different because it's a one-man show. And I'm also wearing jorts. But just to give you an example of sort of how. I can sort of do this in reverse to how we did it in the trailer to show you like how far ahead of the audience you actually are. Because somebody asked earlier, was either me or Craig faking when you're like, trying to do all the calculations and things in your head. So I'll take a deck, I'll shuffle it up, give it like this. What I'm going to do, I'm going to have to play the part of a participant because no one here. So I'm going to, maybe someone in the chat comment, the first comment that comes up, to estimate how many cards, like a number maybe, I don't know, less than half, so we're not going to be here counting all day. So can someone, Bo, will you tell me the first number, but like that comes up in the chat for me to try and estimate?
12.
Okay, so I'm going to try and cut 12 cards, but remember, this would be done in their hands. I would have my back this way, okay? So I'm going to have to cut some cards. I'm going to try and get about 12, like this. 1, 2, that's way more. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so I got 18 cards. And at this point, I would have them shuffle these up. I already know that the total of these cards is 117. So that's how far ahead I am. So if we go through and add these up, then we have 12 plus nothing, plus 9 is 21, plus another 12 is 33. Remember I said 117, so 33, 41, 45, 50, 59, 63, 64, plus 13 is 64 plus 13, 77. Help. Plus nothing, so 77. Plus 11 is 88. Plus 1 is 89. Plus 8 is 97. Plus 2 is 99. Plus 13 is 112, which means this must be a 5 to make it 117.
There you go. Hey, that's so sick.
So yeah, in the trailer, when you see me like, oh, I'm roughly calculating, I already knew the total of what the cards the participant had cut to, like the moment he did the thing.
The worst part of it is just adding math, the simple 5 plus 3 and stuff. That's messing you up.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
there's
you
all
the
different
calculator
ways to present this as well. So like I performed this earlier on my uncle. He knows a lot about magic, and this fooled the pants off him. And but the way I had him do it was to cut the cards, shuffle them up, fan them, and count them all to himself first. So he knew the total, and that was done. And then I was like, right, spread them out. I'm going to turn around, and I was like, boom, 125. And because he'd already done the addition, it was a much snappier, faster, entertaining way of doing it. But it's just I like that Rainman version in the trailer because it's very much exactly what you would do if you would actually do this for real. If you had these powers for real, that's how you would present it. So in the trailer, I did it like in the most natural way possible. But to make it more fun, you can have them cut a smaller amount so they're not adding up as much. You can have them add them up to themselves quickly and then just go 3, 2, 1, 85, done. And it can be a much snappier. And then as soon as they already know the total, it's an instant bang. Instead of that slow build up getting to the total, for them to already know it and then you confirm it. It changes the pacing of the routine considerably. Yeah. So I don't know. Was that any good?
That was brilliant. And that's for everyone that was watching the live. They can go back and get their calculators out and add it up if they want to follow along. I just do want to say a quick goodbye to Austin Murphy. He's got to head into a
solid
meeting.
7 out of 10.
That was what I wanted everyone to type. It's a solid 7 out of 10. So type that in. Thank you so much, Austin, for popping in, mate. Enjoy your meeting. And thank you for putting up with
Austin,
the feet.
dude.
I appreciate it, buddy. That's what I do want to mention, though. If you are a gold member and you do win one of these giveaways, because we do have gold member parts of this, if you are a gold member and you do win the competition, we'll put in like unreleased. I'm saying this now that Austin's gone. We'll put an unreleased trick in there that you're going to get ahead of time. Everything else will be what we have on our shelves. So if you're just a regular viewer, that's fine. You'll win a whole bunch of stuff. But if you're a gold member, which is kind of like every time that we've had, who else have we had? I Ate Those Food and Tommy J. If you win, you'll get an unreleased trick. But I'm so glad everyone's writing in. This is a solid 7 out of 10. So thank you very much. I did see a question.
I love the idea that nobody's seen people watching this back might not have seen the teaser video we did, where the joke is 7 out of 10, and now people are thinking watching this, unless they actually haven't, and they just think it's 7 out of 10.
No, that's what I wanted people to type in on the secret giveaway. I don't know why I'm telling everyone now. That's just ruined the giveaway, but that's good. I'm glad everyone's doing it. Chunky did say, if they say this up to like 24, will it work? Is there a number where this cuts off? Is there a number where it doesn't work? Is there?
You can do that. You can do the entire deck, but the entire deck for any deck comes to 364. It depends how long
you've got to count. Yeah.
And the other thing is you can have them cut a small amount of cards and then tell them the balance of the deck. So like if you took 117 away from 364, I would know, I can't even do that type of maths, but then you would know the balance of the deck as well. So you could say, oh, you've got 117, you've got 53 or whatever it's going to be. You know what I mean?
There is a
It's just-
routine that we put on there, I'm pretty sure of it, that's like a memory-based routine where you're doing a pseudo-memory demonstration, and you have the spectator shuffle the deck. You then spread it out on the table, and you pretend to memorize the order. Once you've done that, you have the spectator cut the deck into 3 piles, and you tell them the cards that they've cut to, and then you tell them the total of the piles on top of each one of the cards that they've cut to. So you tell them the totals of all 3 piles and the 3 cards that they've cut to, under the guise of memorizing the deck, when in actual fact you're not memorizing anything.
Yeah, that was an effect that happened on the fly in the tutorial. We neither of us had thought of it beforehand, right? And we were just jamming, and it's like, oh, also you could do this. Yeah, that affects the trick. Yeah, the spectator cuts however many cards they want, shuffles them up, spreads them face up on the table, and then you look. They then hide one. You look back and you tell them which one is missing. And I like that one actually, Craig, because the method is kind of the actual. You're kind of actually doing what you say you're doing, but you're also not.
Yeah.
So it's a surefire method to do it exceptionally fast, but you're not doing it for real.
Yeah.
But you are doing it for real, but you're not doing it the way they think you do.
Sorry.
So.
And turning that off. That's what it does. I just seen everyone come and go, what does the crash thing do? That's what it does. I just turned that on, and someone typed in crash, and I had to turn it off again. But that's...
Like Lloyd said, not your best idea, Bo.
Well, I thought it was a good idea at the time until people don't want... That's when people want the stream to end. So I think that's a good note to end this on. And guess you guys want to keep chatting? I'm okay with it, but I know you boys are busy. And we're not meant to get hyped about this. So let's wind it back a bit.
No, don't get hyped. No hype.
I love it.
No hype.
Is there anything
Yeah,
you guys...
It's not a good trick. Don't
It's
do
not.
it. Don't do
Solid,
it. Don't.
It's a solid 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. There you go.
I mean, that's being generous as well.
Yeah, very generous. Oh, beard cam. There we go. Here we go. That was horrifying. Anyway, Magic and Cards said, so boring. He's asleep. So thank you, Magic and Cards. Enjoy your snooze, my friend. Good to see you here.
The best thing about possibly pretending it's boring, is that if it is boring, no one will ever know if it is, or we're just being sarcastic.
Yeah. That's it. Oh, okay. King OK said that the person will be announced on the stream. So it's 7 out of 10. We announced that that'll be after the stream now, because we have next week we'll do the 2 giveaways. So it'll be the Savant giveaway and the 7 out of 10, because people will be watching this after the fact. Unless we want to do the 7 out of 10 now. What do you guys want? Should we do it now, Lloyd and Craig?
Yeah, go for it.
Marcelino, pardon if I can pronounce it correctly, says, any more Craig and Lloyd releases in the near future? And yeah, we spoke about it a little bit earlier. We have a full, the gaff decks that have like 52 different tricks in them. We have a full custom gaff deck coming out where you can.
Am I right in saying, Lloyd, that there is 5 projects that we've got in the future over the next couple of years that we've been working on together? You've got the you got the gaff deck, you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 5. And then I'm guesting on a project that you've been involved in as well, haven't I? The thing. I'm guesting on that. You know what I'm talking about, right? Hello? Can you hear me?
He's got
again. I was on YouTube. I could see you on YouTube, so it was delayed. Then I went to OBS. I was like, oh, it's just me. I'm on my own. And then, so what's the thing you guessed with me on? I think I know what it is. Oh yeah.
Okay. So I've seen.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all we're gonna release. I don't know if you saw, I was scrolling. I had a way to do it for the stream, but the thing I'd set up doesn't want to work it unless you want to do comment exclamation prize in. But I just spun on the chat here, went up and down. I don't know if you saw I was doing this on the chat, and stopped. And I stopped on Random Magic Guy. This is a solid 7 out of 10 lol. I'll hold him up here. Where is he? There he is. Oh no. I'm trying not to unplug my thing. 7 out of 10. Random Magic Guy. You won the bathtub prize with the some Craig Petty releases. But that doesn't mean Savant is. You still got to comment Savant. If you still commented in Savant, you're still another prize. So congratulations, random magic guy. I'm gonna write your name down before I forget. And you have won the bathtub. Oh, that's gonna be the weirdest note I'm gonna write. Random magic guy bathtub. If you could DM me on Instagram or Facebook or WhatsApp or any other chats, I will get that prize out to you.
Send me that bathtub, man.
Yeah. I don't want to see customs of like, what are you sending
Also,
the bathtub?
Shout out to Shark Traeger, one of our good friends, our mutual friends in the comments.
Shark is amazing. I'll tell you what, I don't know if you know this, but not only is Shark Traeger amazing, his son's really good at magic as well.
Holly?
Can't remember his name. I can't remember my own kid's name, let alone someone else's. I can never remember your kid's name. What is it? George and Pepper. I can't remember it. So.
I don't know. I've forgotten.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I didn't even know you had kids. I thought you weren't allowed to be near them.
I try to ignore them generally.
That's why I thought you went into a nervous panic when they brought out the register, this magic list.
Congratulations, random magic guy, for winning that competition. I'll get that prize out to you. So thanks for tuning in. I'm sweating so much in this. Why do I continue to get you guys onto a call?
It's your own fault. You're an enabler. You say that you're going to do it again after every single one of these, and then you get us back on again.
I know. I'm like, behave yourselves, and you're like, yep, absolutely. And then
I bet you don't get this shit from Tobias Dostal.
I don't. I get. There's feet pics now. You guys, I'm ending this stream. I'm ending it. Thank you so much, guys, for coming and hanging out, and thank you everyone for tuning in. If you want to win a massive prize, all you gotta do is type in Savant, and you're gonna win a massive, all of the releases that Craig and Lloyd have done. So well done. Congratulations to Random Magic Guy and everyone else. I really appreciate everyone for coming and hanging out, and Evitar won as well. So.
Oh, we're never going to hear the end of it. He wins everything.
I know. He's won so many prizes on him. But well done, Evitar.
Shout out to Brandon Ellis. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Magic Alan for being the best hype man in the business.
Alan, thank you very much, mate.
And most importantly, thanks to everybody that has continued to support me and Lloyd and Murphy's Magic. And thank you to everybody that's taken a punt on the Savant deck. I think that you guys are going to absolutely love this. No hype. It's very different, I think, to anything that me and Lloyd have done before. So
I don't think so. I think it's just your average.
It's a solid 7 out of 10.
Solid 7.
Oh, what's this? Oh, you pick a card. Oh, I can tell you how much they come to. Oh, well done. Just go and get me my milkshake, please. Jesus. Just go get it. Right. Well done. Go back and make the food now, Lloyd. Okay, I'll do it. Brandon Ellis, legend. I love some chunky sausage in the chat. Evitar.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many good people in the chat.
Don't say in the chat. You just love chunky sausage, just as a rule.
What you eat?
Well.
D Squad said, thanks for the informative stream and the feet. You're absolutely welcome.
It's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from them.
Brian, appreciate you purchasing Savant. I appreciate the help. A77, yes, absolutely. A beginner magician can do this. So you need no skills. I'm going to go
before this.
We have to go. Bo's got beard stuff to do, and Lloyd is busy. Those sheep aren't going to look after themselves. So they've got things to do. That's all I'm going to say. They've both got things to do, and Lloyd needs to.
That thing is me.
Oh dear. I gotta go. I need to change this cooldown period for feet. Y'all are weird, and I love it. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all your support. Everyone, thanks for coming and hanging out. If you're just tuning in now, go back to the start. I'm seeing a lot of questions coming in.
Go back to the start for a Lloyd Barnes mukbang.
Yeah, if you want to see Lloyd Barnes eat pizza and learn about the Savant deck at the same time, go back to the beginning and watch from the start. You all been acceptable? Amazing. I saw someone put something about acceptable
You've all
in the
been
chat.
acceptable.
Oh no, I saw it manipulations, and I read it as when I was going to say amazing, and I said acceptable. You've all been incredible.
Oh, Casa
No,
Amor.
Austin's gone into his
Oh,
meeting. Let's
James.
hope Bo. No, let's hope for Bo's sake he never sees that.
Yeah, it's all falling apart. You're all being. Oh, I'm trying not to hype everyone up. You all have been semi-okay. You all been in 7.
You've been 7 out of 10.
Yeah. Oh dear. All right, this is
Strictly
falling apart.
average.
This
If
stream
you
was
like
acceptable.
card tricks, then the Savant Deck is out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
There you
Savant
go.
Deck does some. If you like coin magic, you'll hate the Savant Deck.
Is that an actual quote that we should use in the actual?
I'm clipping that. I'm putting it up on socials. So thank you.
If you like mentalism, then the Savant Deck is a 5 out of 10.
What about if we like Austin's sponge balls?
I'm ending this stream. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Any last words?
I thought we were going to start talking about Austin's sponge balls.
So, Roy, you have to guess where the ring is, on the left hand or the right hand. Okay, so I will show you. Watch. If I put it here, where is it? The left hand or the right hand? Which one?
I think.
You know what? You know what? Before you say, I'll give you my keys, the house keys, so you know I'm not running away. Can you please hold my keys? Close your hand tight. And would you please guess where the ring is? The left or the right?
Oh,
This one?
Yeah.
What about now?
Same.
Same.
Yeah.
No, it's already gone from here. Where is it now? The right?
Yeah, right.
It is in the right, but not my right. Not my right.
Where is my leg?
Maybe the right over here. Open the hand, please, slowly.
Whoa, you won't.
See what's going on? I want to show the camera. Right there.
Oh my goodness. I can't believe that. Really?
There you go. Thank you so much. A beautiful ring. Thank you. Appreciate it. I need to buy a ring. I'll show you the coolest things ever. A ring. Let's see. What's your name? Timothy. You have to guess what hand is it, the left or the right, okay? Before we're doing so, guys, Timothy, right? Yeah. I will give you my keys as collateral, so you know I'm not running away, okay? So can you hold it, please, tight? Timothy, what hand do you think the ring is? The left hand or the right hand? Which one? The left. Yeah. Could be a good try, but it's not there. Which one now?
The right.
Yes, but not my right.
Bro.
Let me see. Guys, it's right there. Can you see it?
Oh my God!
Thank you guys. Have a great time.
That was so cool!
Warmest wish.
So Tom, thanks for helping me with this.
So,
I'm never going to touch these cards. You
Okay.
have to be the eyes and hands of the audience at home.
okay,
Is that all right?
that's fine.
To do that, spread the cards face up on the table and show everybody that every single card is different and that all the cards are there.
Yeah. Ooh,
Happy?
yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
I'm going to turn around. As I do that, collect the cards up, and I want you to shuffle them as many times as you want.
Okay.
Whilst you're shuffling the cards, in a moment, you're going to try and cut a certain amount, as many cards that you want. We'll try and do up to about 20, so you're not here all day counting, but it can be any number. So how many are you going to try and... How many do you think you could cut accurately?
10. I'm normally good at
10's a good number. When you're happy, you finish shuffling, put the cards down. Let's see how difficult or easy it is to cut 10 cards exactly.
Oh, I'm nervous.
It is actually, I find it a lot harder than it seems.
That was very low.
How many? Let's see how you did. 4?
Yeah.
Do you want to try again?
Yeah, can I try again?
It's up to you, yeah. Try and see how close you can get. It doesn't have to be 10, it can be as many as you want.
Okay. Go.
Okay.
It's a bit better.
Let's see how you did.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
14, okay, so considerably off by a fair margin there, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Now that is difficult to do on its own.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and show you something that I've been attempting to do that sort of ups the ante a little bit.
Okay.
Take those cards and shuffle them up.
Yeah.
All right. And what I want you to do is spread those. I'm making sure I'm facing away. I cannot see the cards or anything. And remember, you shuffled the deck. Yeah. Spread those cards face up on the table so that every card in some way is visible when I turn back around.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you happy? You can see that?
Yeah.
What I'm going to attempt to do is add up the total value of all those cards that are face up on the table in about 1 second.
Wow.
Okay. I know.
I'm
This
looking forward to it. I'm
All
nervous. For you.
Yeah, I'm nervous too. Give me a moment to put myself together. All right. Whenever you're happy, count me down from 3. I'm going to try it.
3, 2, 1.
91. I think that was like 2 seconds, but I think the total value is 91.
I'll let you off for a second.
It threw me off because there's a joker. So
Yeah.
we won't count the joker, but let's count the cards up as we go along. So we've got a 9 and a 1. I said 91, remember?
Yeah, 91.
So that's 10.
Yeah.
We have, let's do 6 and a 4, that's 20.
Yeah.
Let's do a 12,
Yeah.
queen being 12, that's 32. Let's add 5, that's 37. 38. Let's add 6 is 42. 44.
Okay, yeah.
I'm no good at maths. Let's add another 12 to 44, which is 56.
Yeah.
Let's add a 7,
Yeah.
which comes to 63. 63 plus 8 is 71. Plus a 7 is 78. Remember I said 91.
Yeah.
What's 78 plus 13?
That 91.
91 exactly.
No. What? Okay. You took it. That was like the first time you took your hand as well. Were you counting them?
Yeah.
Savant Deck is one of the most powerful and versatile utility devices as a magician I've ever worked with. It's a gaff deck of cards, but unlike most gaff decks that really are just a one-trick pony, this has an incredible amount of versatility. You can literally do anything from demonstrations to shuffle tracking.
I need to disturb the space, that's great.
And then Rainman style effects.
Okay. Stop. 65.
That's very hard. Crazy UV predictions. You can do some of the most crazy Acans you've ever seen. And the cool thing is, anytime you want, you are literally ready to go into any one of a dozen plus routines, and it's very easy to do.
Turn the cards face up. Every other card in the pack is black.
The Savant Deck, to all intents and purposes, looks like a completely normal deck of cards. It's printed on normal rider backs, red back rider backs, most popular cards in the world. Not only that, they can look through the cards, they look completely normal, but it means you've got access to all of the secrets that are built into the deck. So at a moment's notice, whether you're a mentalist, a magician, an expert at sleight of hand, you can infuse the routines from the Savant Deck into your working set and be ready to go whenever you want.
And look away. Could you do that under the tape? Do that a couple of times. Cut and complete, do it again.
Cool.
Yeah, and complete, do it again. Okay. So they're really, really mixed. Whenever you're happy, you can carry on. And cut and complete again.
Yep.
Incredibly fair, right?
Yes.
Take a look at the first card of the deck.
Yep.
And actually take it and hide it so I can't see it. But just memorize what that card is.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
Good. We're going to take the deck and place them back in the box. Just like this. You got it? Happened. All right, let's think about what's just happened. You took a deck, you checked everything was normal, you shuffled it, I don't even know how many times, but you shuffled it at least 5 times,
Yeah.
cutting and completing throughout the entire process, and then you selected one card. There is no way I could know what that card is.
Yeah.
And under complete impossible test conditions, you pick the 10 of diamonds. Magic! You're brilliant!
That's a magical moment that we have a problem.
My name's Craig Petty, and on behalf of my friend Lloyd Barnes and Murphy Studio, welcome to the Savant Deck.
To fly at the same time that you ring, playing with something like that. 1, 2, and look at this. 3. Inside to the bubble, there is something I don't want to touch. Can you touch and can you see that this is your ring? Yes or not?
Yes.
Yes. It's really inside of this is something weird, but for that reason, this is impossible for you to wear again. So I have the first gift that I give it to you. That was the scissor to destroy